Hare Krishna. So we continue with the discussions of Ajamila. So after the Yamadutas were stopped by the Vishnudutas from taking away the soul of Ajamil, the Yamadutas have now asked why it is happening. So in today's shlok, we'll be seeing how Vishnudutas are answering why Ajamil, even after he had committed so many sins as told by the Yamadutas, is not suitable enough to be taken away to Yamaraj. That is shlok number 7 from the second chapter of the 6th canto. Ayam hi kruta nirvesho janma koti ayam sahapi yad vyajhara vivasho nam swasti ayanam harehe. Synonyms: Ayam, this person Ajamil. He indeed krita nirvesha has undergone all kinds of atonement. Janma of births, koti of millions, amhasam for the sinful activities, api even, yet because, vyajahara he has chanted, vivashah in a helpless condition, nama the holy name, swastiyanam the means of liberation, harehe of the supreme personality of Godhead. Translation: Ajamil has already atoned for all his sinful actions. Indeed, he has atoned not only for sins performed in one life, but for those performed in millions of lives. For in a helpless condition, he chanted the holy name of Narayan. Even though he did not chant purely, he chanted without offense, and therefore he is now pure and eligible for liberation. Purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. The Yamadutas had considered only the external situation of Ajamil. Since he was extremely sinful throughout his life, they thought he should be taken to Yamaraj and did not know that he had become free from the reactions of all his sins. The Vishnudutas therefore instructed that because he had chanted the 4 syllables of the name Narayan at the time of his death, he was freed from all sinful reactions. In this regard, Sri Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur quotes the following verses from the Smriti Shastra. Namno hi yavati shakti papa nirharane hare tavat kartum na shaknoti patakam patakai narah. Simply by chanting one holy name of Hari, a sinful man can counteract the reactions to more sins than he is able to commit. Brihad Vishnu Puran. Aveshanapi yananamni kirtite sarva patakai puman vimuchyate sadya simhatraste mriger eva. If one chants the holy name of the Lord, even in a helpless condition or without desiring to do so, all the reactions to his sinful life depart, just as when a lion roars, all the small animals flee in fear. Garud Puran. Shakrat uccaritam yena harir iti aksharadvayam baddha parikarastena mokshaya gamanam prati. By once chanting the holy name of the Lord, which consists of the 2 syllables Ha, Ri, one guarantees his path to liberation. Skanda Puran. These are some of the reasons why the Vishnudutas objected to the Yamadutas taking Ajamil to the court of Yamaraj. Thus ends the Bhaktivedanta purport. Om Agyanti Mirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swa Padantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamlam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamsham Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Shri Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sagan Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitam Sham Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. Now we'll listen to Prabhupada's lecture on this particular verse.
Next is a class on the Srimad Bhagwatam, 6th canto, 2nd chapter, text number 7, given by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, recorded on September 10th, 1975, in Vrindavan, India.
Oyam hi kitanidvesha janma kotyam hathamapi jad bhajahara vivaso nama sastaya nama hare. So, the order carriers of Lord Vishnu, Vishnu Duta, declare that this man, although he was very sinful, but now he is cleared of all sinfulness. He is now clean. How he is clean? Just Bhajahara, he has uttered the name of Narayan. Just Bhajahara, Vivasa. Not any artificial, but automatically. Vivasa. Nama, the holy name, Sasti Ayanam. To chant the holy name of the Lord means to achieve all auspicity. Hare. Now this name, Hare, sometimes the Mayavadis, they say that any name, either of Hari or any other demigod, is equal. No, that is not. That is Namapura. If one thinks that the holy name of Hari is as good as the name of other demigods, then it is Namapura. That is not Shuddhana. So, people are being misguided in that way. But the Shastra does not say that. The Shastra says, Hare Nama, Hare Nama. The holy name of Hari, Krishna, Vishnu, Vishnu Tattva. Hari means Vishnu Tattva. There are Tattva is manifested in different ways. Vishnu Tattva, Vishnu Shakti Tattva, Jiva Tattva, like that. So Shastra says, Hare Nama, Vishnu Tattva. Vishnu, of course, Lord Vishnu has several thousands of names according to his different activities. Vishnu, Narayan, Hari, Govinda, Madhava, many names. So, any name of the Supreme Personality of God, Hari. Hare Nama, Hare Nama, Hare Nama. The Shastra reminding us 3 times, just like we stress upon something, that do this, do this, do this, thrice. And therefore it is said 3 times, Hare Nama, Hare Nama, so that he may not forget, he may not be misguided by the so-called Mayavadis, that any name, no, Hare Nama, 3 times. Harer Nama, Harer Nama, Harer Nama, eva, again eva. Then again 3 times. Kalo nasteva, nasteva, nasti, nasti eva, gatirannatha. You cannot deviate from this process. There is no other alternative process. You cannot say that I will be liberated by this process or that process. No. Because it is Kali Yuga. Any other process will not be successful. You adopt any process, ultimately you have to come to this process, Bhakti Yoga. You can work on Karma Yoga, you can work on Jnana Yoga, you can work on Hatha Yoga. There are different yogas. Yoga means how to connect with the Supreme. Yoga means connection. And Yoga means distraction. We know, anyone who knows mathematics, yoga means addition and subtraction, yoga. So, at the present moment, in our conditional state, we are separated. Not exactly separated, but we are forgotten. We have forgotten our relationship with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So, we have to connect it again. That is called yoga. Because we are now disconnected somehow or other, now we have to connect it again. So any yoga system means an endeavor to connect our relationship with the Supreme Lord. That is called yoga. So, someone is trying to make the connection, Karma Yoga, someone is trying to make Jnana Yoga, someone is trying Hatha Yoga. But the real aim is Bhakti Yoga. Just like different steps. You are on the first step, and other is on the second step, and other is on the third step, and other is on the fourth step. But the ultimate goal is Bhakti Yoga. You cannot understand God or Krishna by any other yoga. It may be a step forward. But ultimately, you have to come to the Bhakti Yoga. Therefore, in the Bhagavad Gita it is said, Bahunam Janmanam Ante, after many births, endeavor to execute the yoga system, Bahunam Janmanam Ante, Jnanavan, one who is actually practicing Jnana Yoga or mystic yoga, he comes to the Bhakti Yoga. Bahunam Janmanam Ante Jnanavan Manga Prapaddate. Prapaddate. This is Bhakti Yoga. And still clearly explained. What is that Prapatti? Vasudeva Sarvamiti Samahatma Sudurlava. When one comes to this understanding that Vasudeva Krishna is everything, I surrender to Krishna. Krishna is canvassing personally. Krishna is so kind that Sarva dharman parityajya mamekam saranam. That we will not take. Krishna is claiming too much. But that is the ultimate goal, that you have to surrender to Krishna. That is the highest perfection. So this conclusion that let me surrender. Krishna is asking me, Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the ultimate absolute truth, he is asking me to surrender. Why shall I delay? Let me surrender. This is intelligence. Jnana. So, those who are intelligent, they will take immediately. It is explained in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, Saddha Sabde Vishwas Sudhira Nishchay Krishne Bhakti Kaile Sarva Karma Krita Hoy. This is the real Shraddha, faith. What is that faith? Saddha Sabde Vishwas. Faith means strong faith, not flickering faith. Vishwas, to believe. What is that? Vishwas, Saddha Sabde Vishwas Sudhira Nishchay. Very firm faith and with surety. Surety it must be. Because Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, says that you surrender unto me and I shall give you protection from all sinful years. He is assuring, then why we shall doubt? Because we have doubt in Krishna. That is the difference. The Krishna says he maybe or may not doubt. That is called doubt. Krishna says in many places, asamsaya, don't doubt what I say, accept it. Manmana bhavamad bhakta madhyadi mang namaskuru mameva ishasi asamsaya. You do this and without any doubt, rest assured you will come to me. In another place, Krishna says, Maya Saktamana Pratha Jogam Junjana Madas. Asamsayam, again asamsayam. Asamsayam samagram mam jatha gansasi tatchinu. So it is our misfortune that we become doubtful about Krishna. This is our misfortune. Otherwise, to become liberated, to go back to home, back to Godhead, very easy thing, provided we accept the Krishna's version as it is, without any change. It is very easy. Krishna, when he comes, personally, he comes to bestow the mercy to the fallen souls. And he speaks very clearly that matta paradaram nannat kinchijasti dhananjaya. There is no more better, positive truth than myself. But you don't believe. That is the misfortune. But this man, although he did not know what he is doing, but very faithfully he chanted devotion, devotion without any hesitation. Devotion. Devotion means being forced. He was forced to chant. So jena tena prakarena, if you chant without any committing any offense the holy name of the Lord, then you become devotee. This is the purpose of this Ajami Upakhyan. Ayam hi krita nidvesa. Nidvesa means atonement. If you commit some sin, then you should atone for it. Otherwise, you have to carry the reaction of your sinful life to the next life. Therefore, according to the Vedic system, there is prayaschitta. The prayaschitta, that is also a very heavy task. In this age, nobody can perform prayaschitta. And even one is able to perform prayaschitta, then there is possibility of again falling down, unless one is clear consciousness, and that Krishna consciousness. Unless one is Krishna conscious, there is every chance of falling down. So anyway, this Ajamin, is Kritanidvesha. The Vishnu Duta informed to the Jamaduta that you cannot touch him anymore. He is now pure, Kritanidvesha. Kritanidvesha. Then the next question is, the Jamaduta may say that how he has become Kritanidvesha.
Hare Krishna. So can someone summarize what we have heard till now in this particular part? Anyone? Because there have been some important points which Prabhupada has said. So besides the purport which we read, wherein the Shastras have been invoked, if I Hari's name or the name of taking of the name of Lord Krishna is going to help us to be delivered from sins, not only of this birth, but koti janma, Bhaunam janma, all the lives that we have had, all those sins that we have accumulated, they will be delivered by taking Krishna's name. So would someone like to summarize what we have heard additionally?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Pranam, Prabhuji. Thank you for this opportunity. Prabhuji, the first thing that is mentioned there, am I audible enough?
Yes, Prabhuji, little audible.
Is it better now?
Yes, Prabhuji, now it is better.
So, Prabhuji, I think the first thing that is being mentioned is about Hari Nam. Is it okay now?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah. So, normally people think that Hari Nam is equivalent to any demigod's name, but it's been clearly mentioned there is that Hari is the ultimate superpower, the Krishna himself, the Hari name. So it should not be considered as the demigod name. It should be, it's an absolute name. So that's where he was clearly mentioning, and also he was telling about yoga and yoga. So right now we are in condition, we are conditional souls. So we are in a state of yoga. So though we are separated in terms of we don't remember Krishna himself. So we are separated. So that was termed as yoga, and we have to go towards yoga because that should be our ultimate goal to be conscious about the Krishna consciousness. So those points were clearly mentioned. Also, that's being told that the 18.66 verse also being mentioned that you leave everything, you just come to me. That is the Krishna's instruction, and the ultimate the point that was mentioned was if anyone follows the what Krishna says is as it is, then he will definitely reach to the Godhead. So that is what being told, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Just to add on what Prabhuji has mentioned, so in this verse, like Prabhupada was mentioning about different yoga systems like Jnana Yoga, Hatha Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, but all these yogas would lead to the process of liberation. So to connect with the Supreme. But among all these yogas, what Prabhupada was mentioning was like Bhakti Yoga is actually the best among all the yogas. So that will lead for easy connection to the Supreme. And as Prabhuji was also already mentioning that there should be strong faith. One will be having the faith, but we need to have a very strong faith, strong belief. So unless one has strong and firm faith in Supreme, and also he cannot wash away all his sinful reactions. So one should have strong faith in while chanting the holy name. Without any doubt, he should accept what bona fide guru has would mention. And so again, So it was also mentioned that prayashita, regarding the prayashita as well. So if one is committing any sin, so he has to do the prayashit for all the sinful reactions. So because in this age of Kali, it would be difficult to do the prayashit for all the sinful reactions. So the only means or what was mentioned is by chanting the holy name, which Ajamil has done it very, without any hesitation or quite easily. Yeah, someone can continue from here.
If anyone would like to add any other points? So basically, as Prabhuji clearly mentioned, it's not only it's stressed three times. If you see the shloka which Prabhupada ji has quoted in the purport, Harer Nam, Harer Nameva Kevalam, Kalau Nasteva, Nasteva, Nasteva Gatiranyatha. So three times it is stressed. In Kali Yuga, there is no other alternative than to take Lord Hari's name. And again here, Lord Hari's name is not to be considered equivalent to any other God's name, because that is Namaprad. That is also it is clearly mentioned. So we have to be very careful. It's this two-syllable word, Hari, or the four-syllable which Ajamila mentioned, as was said in this shloka, Narayan, which has purified the person, which has cleansed his heart, which has cleansed him of all the sinful reactions that he has accumulated over his lifetimes of births. So Hare Nam is very, very potent. So if you see in the lecture, Prabhupada ji is also talking about various Vishnu Tattvas. So he is saying that Krishna's name, Hari's name is one of the Vishnu Tattvas, which is mentioned in the literature. So we have to be very careful. And then yoga, as Prabhuji just summarized, is a union. So this union is between us and Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So there are multiple steps. So indirectly, Prabhupada ji was quoting about the Ashtanga Yoga system, which is told by Krishna. It's not told by Prabhupada ji, it's told by Krishna in Bhagavad Gita itself. So there are 8 different types of yogas. So one after the another you go. So he has quoted a couple of yogas here of Hatha Yoga and Jnana Yoga, Karma Yoga. But then the topmost, the 8th level is the Bhakti Yoga. And we are very, very lucky that we have gone to that topmost level directly. So that is something which is our luck, and for which we have to be very, very thankful to Krishna and to Guru and to Prabhupada ji, because Krishna has said that it's Bhunam Janmanam Ante Jnanvam Mam Prapadyate. So it's after many, many, many births that someone, the intelligent, knows him, and we are lucky that we have got to know Krishna. Very luckily, again, Krishna has also mentioned Sarvam iti sa Mahatma Sudurlabha. So it's very rare that someone understands the Krishna Tattva. We are lucky that we are getting to know it from Guru and Gauranga and Prabhupada ji. So we have to take this opportunity very, very strongly and faithfully, because again here one of the verses from Chaitanya Charitamrit was quoted. How should be our faith? So Prabhupada ji said, Shraddha Shabde Vivasha Sudruda Nishchaya Krishna Bhakti Kele Sarva Karma Krata Hai. So it has to be very, very strong with surety. Why surety? Because Krishna has said. So Vishwas, Shraddha on Shabda. So that has to be Sudruda Nishchaya. It has to be very strong. And what has to be strong on? Krishna Bhakti Kele Sarva Karma Krita. By doing Krishna Bhakti, all the karmas will be destroyed. And that is what we have to believe. Krishna has told this. And he has told us to do only 4 things. Man mana bhav mad bhakto mad yaji mam namaskaru mam evaishi is what Krishna says in 18.65. So we have to be very, very careful. And that is what we have to do. And then now Prabhupada is going to further explain why Ajamila has become Krita Nirvesha. So we'll continue with the lecture.
Prabhuji, just one point, just to
Yes,
add on.
Prabhuji.
Just to add on, so the stress was given for the complete faith, and also one thing that is being told, even if somebody doesn't know anything about Uh, Even if we just accept chanting and with a complete faith, that is good enough for even delivery. So you can go back to Godhead if you have 100% faith in chanting. So that was also very nice. So
Yes.
thank you,
Yes,
Prabhuji.
Prabhuji.
Isa is so sinful that there is no limit of his sinful activities, and you say that it is clear immediately. Therefore he says, Janmakoti, Amahasamapi. Not only one life sinful activities, but many crores of birth sinful activities. So we do not know how many births we had previously. But from this Shastra we understand crores, many millions of times we had to take birth. Therefore it is used Janmakoti. Not one birth or two births or second birth or third birth. So, unless we come to Krishna consciousness, this repetition of birth and death will continue. That's what it says, Janmakotyam. We are passing through many different forms of life. We are creating one family, that I belong to this family. But what about my other families? Because Janmakoti, in every family when I enter, there must be father and mother and family members. To which family I am especially concerned, that is our ignorance. We become interested in the particular family where we are at present. But we do not know that in the past we had to pass through many hundreds and millions of families. So which family is correct? And again, if I do not correct myself at the present moment, I have to go through many millions of families until we come to the point, Vasudeva Sarvamiti Samahatma. This is it. So, this Vasudeva Sarvamiti we are distributing on the order of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. People may take that Krishna consciousness movement means that we are preaching Vasudeva Sarvamiti, no compromise. Only Vasudeva, Krishna. Om Namo Bhagavati Vasudeva. This is Krishna consciousness movement. If people can take it without any hesitation, as Krishna says, Ma Sucha, don't be worried. Sarvadharman Parityajya Mamekam Saranam Braja. Krishna says, and even out of sentiment, we take to Krishna consciousness, believing on the word of Krishna. Out of sentiment, still we are benefiting. Satya sadanmam charanambujam hare. It is said that if by sentiment one takes to Krishna consciousness, Satya sadharmam, everyone has got his occupational duty. The Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, or anyone. Everyone has got some particular duty, obligation. But Krishna says there is no need of executing all these obligations. Simply surrender. Krishna says. So, if somebody, out of sentiment, if one thinks that simply by surrendering to Krishna he will be perfect, why not take it? Let me give up my so-called religious principles. But that is called form in the Bhagavad. Taktya sadharmam charanambujam hare. He is giving up. Just like this European, American boy, they belong to Jewish religion, they belong to Christian religion, but out of their pious activity or even by sentiment, they have given up. Now they are taken to Krishna consciousness. But they are perfect. You may say that some of them have fallen. The Shastra says that even one has fallen. Where is the wrong there? And other person who has not taken to Krishna consciousness, who has not fallen, what is the benefit there? Even one has not fallen, sticking to his own particular religious system. He is not gainer, but a person who has taken to Krishna consciousness even by sentiment and has fallen, he has great benefit. Because once he has taken to Krishna consciousness, Krishna becomes attached to him. That is our Ajnata Sukriti. Therefore, in all circumstances, we should accept the Krishna's instruction, Sarva dharman parityajya mamekam saranam vraja, and surely we shall be benefited. So it doesn't matter whether he is advanced. Of course, everyone should try his best to advance more and more in Krishna consciousness. But even though one falls down circumstantially, Tattva sadharmam charanam vijam hare patet tato jadi bhajan napakya. Bhajan means this execution of devotional service, gradually it should be strong and right. But if one falls down, even it is not right, bhajan apakya. The Shastra says, what is the wrong there? What is the loss there? Because he has begun this line of devotional service, even if he stopped at a certain point, circumstantially, he is not loser. He is not loser because he will get the opportunity of another human form of life. That is stated in the Bhagavad Gita. Suchinam simatangehe yoga bhrashta sanjayate. Even one has fallen down, still he will get the chance of taking birth. Suchinam simatangehe. In the family of Brahmana, first class Brahmana, Suchina, Suchi, very pure, or Srimata, or very rich man, rich Vaishya. Generally the Vaishyas are rich, so he will get charge either in a very good family of Brahmin or Vaishya. Vaishyas are generally devotees. Therefore, he gets the chance of taking birth in a nice family, and if he is fortunate or if he is guided, then he begins again Krishna consciousness from the point where he lost it. Therefore, he is not loser. Whereas others who are not in Krishna consciousness, he may be diverted, and there is no guarantee what is the next path. Krishna does not guarantee. Krishna says, Takta deham punarjanma. Krishna says, Dehinasmin yatha dehi kaumana jovanam jara tatha dehantara prapti. Dehantara prapti, he will get another body. But what kind of body he is going to get, that is not certain. He may be a demigod or he may be a dog, according to his karma. But this man, who is a devotee of Krishna, if he is followed and if he has to take birth again, it is guaranteed. Suchirana Srimatangi, he will take birth in a very rich family or in a very pure family. This is guaranteed. For others, there is no guarantee. He may take birth out of the 8,400,000 of different forms of life. There is no guarantee. So our request is that somehow or other take to Krishna consciousness. Even if you fall down without being ripened, still you are not loser. That is our request. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So we are not going to be the losers. That is what Prabhupada ji has assured us. So would someone like to summarize what we have heard in the second part?
Hare Krishna. So
Yes,
it was
Prabhuji.
mentioned in the Shastras that even if one is a fallen soul, still if he's connected with Krishna consciousness by any means, so still he's a gainer. And in case if he's not connected with Krishna consciousness, and though the soul is good, so it is a good soul. So compared to those souls which are good and which are not connected with in Krishna consciousness, so still the fallen soul, when it is connected with Krishna consciousness, so they will have ample benefits. What was mentioned here. That doesn't mean one has to be fallen, but yeah. And at the same time, it was mentioned that even though in the path of Krishna consciousness, if one undergoes troubles or many miseries or any troubles, and if he's not able to finish his journey of Krishna consciousness in this birth, so definitely he would get a chance of he would get a birth in very good caste. It could be a Brahmana or it could be a Vaishya, because it was mentioned that usually these castes, like Vaishyas, are more opulent in terms of money and even the bhakti. And Brahmanas, it was mentioned that Brahmanas are usually more sacred, and they do more and more bhakti when compared to other three castes. So they would get a chance of taking birth in higher caste, so in the coming birth. So one has to understand this analogy to the same system as we usually when someone appears the exams, and if he fails, so again he gets a chance to appear the exam again. So similarly, one should not be what do you call nervous, we are not able to progress in Krishna consciousness. One should be one should have enough motivation, and then only he can cross over this exams of Maya, and one can take up Krishna consciousness with strongly, and definitely then we can get into Vaikuntadam. Yeah, Hare Krishna. Someone can continue.
Hare Krishna. Very nicely summarized, Prabhuji. Anyone else would like to add other points?
Yes, Prabhuji. Just to add on to what Prabhuji just told, I think that was mentioned that if the soul is not Krishna consciousness, he probably will get as demigods, or as a dog also, depends upon the karmas that he is having. But somebody who is in Krishna consciousness definitely would be getting a human body to progress into the path, because he will be getting birth either in Vaishnava's family, or in a pure family, or in Vaishya family, where he can have all the resources and all the things to flourish in bhakti. So that is being mentioned. Also, it is being mentioned that even circumstantially, if somebody has dropped bhakti in between, then Krishna will give him the chance to start from that particular point. So and that tells that even in this conditional souls and in this environment, Krishna is so merciful that he gives chance again and again to come back to him. Prabhuji, thank you, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhuji. So basically, see, here are things which are going to be very, very encouraging to us. Why we should continue concentrating on Krishna consciousness, because this is something which is only profit, only business in this material world, where you will have profit and no chance of any loss. Just going a little outside what Prabhupada said, I remember in one of the lectures, one of the Maharajas has quoted this example of one of the disciples of Prabhupada. So Prabhupada had got these disciples, he had become very sincere and he was very, very devoted. But somehow or the other, we don't know what Maya can do. So, but when Prabhupada has taken you up, he has promised you, I will take you back to Godhead. I'll personally come and I'll take you along. This is what Prabhupada had promised to this devotee. But somehow, because of effect of Maya, he had a fall down and he somehow got disturbed and he lost his continuous devotional service activities, which he was very seriously doing. The fate of Maya is, when he neared his death, when he got this, unfortunately, he had this onco ailment. So somehow or the other, he reached a temple in Japan. And there it all revived again and he started this service where he had left. And all the devotees explained who were around him that when he left his body, he simply was very happy and he said, "Oh Prabhupada ji, you have personally come to take me." And he was smiling and with tears in his eyes. And he said, "Prabhupada ji, you are so merciful, you have come to take me." And in that state of mind, he left his body. So that is what the promise of Guru is also there. He promised that he will take him and he personally came Prabhupada ji to take him. And that is why whatever devotional service we do, it never goes for a loss. And that is clearly mentioned in Bhagwatam also. So in the first canto itself, in 5th chapter, the shloka is quoted even here by Prabhupada ji. Tyaktva swadharmam charnam bhujam hare bhajan apako atha patet tato yadi yatra ko va bhadram abhud amushyakim ko vartha apto bhajatam swadharmataha. So the translation was something like, one who has forsaken his material occupations to engage in the devotional service of the Lord may sometimes fall down while in an immature stage. Yet, there is no danger of his being unsuccessful. On the other hand, a non-devotee, though fully engaged in occupational duties, does not gain anything. And because Krishna has promised this in Bhagavad Gita, that an unsuccessful yogi, maybe after years of enjoyment on planets of pious living activities, he is going to be born in a family of righteous people, or at least into a family of rich aristocracy. Prapya punya kratam lokam ushitva shashwati samah shuchinam shrimatam gehe yoga bhrashto abhijay. So Krishna has promised this. So there is not going to be any kind of loss. We are very safe. All of us are very safe. Because we will definitely be crossing this ocean of life, birth, old age, disease, and death, and go back to our original state of eternal service to Krishna in Golok Vrindavan. That is what all the gurus, Krishna has also promised. So we just have to remember it. If you don't agree to what Krishna says, then there is nothing unfortunate, misfortune, no bigger misfortune than that. We have to remember, if Krishna has said, then he has said, and he is going to do it. And that is why we are going to be very, very lucky. We are never going to fall down. So even though we may have, unfortunately, Dehantar Prapti, yet it will be in such a way that we continue from where we left. That is something which is very, very unique about Bhakti. It never starts from zero. So if you have reached from 0 to 5, then it starts from 5 to 6. You don't have to again go back to 0. In all other activities, if you stop something, then you have to start from 0 again. But Bhakti is something where if you have reached a certain stage, then your beginning is that stage where you have left. So that we finally reach that destination, that 10, 100, whatever we call it. Because Krishna wants us to come back to him. He's a very, very good father, as you have heard in the previous lectures. He is our very, very caring father. And he wants us to come back to him, to be with him. And that is why he has given us all these assurances. So we have to believe it, we have to accept it, and we have to be very, very happy that we have started something. So there is no chance that will fall down without being ripened. So let us take to this consciousness and do it very sincerely, the Bhakti Yoga. We have similar lectures just to keep us encouraging every day in the evening. If you remember, we have this Gita classes being taken by Sanatan Dharma Prabhuji at 7:30 and again at 8. Every day morning we are having these Bhagwatam classes. So it's all to keep us encouraging so that we keep on listening more and more purification happens. So please do join in person if possible, and if not in person, then definitely on all these social media platforms, so that we all come together. Also share it with everyone, because in all the lectures. Yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah, I just want to share quickly, like an experience I encountered yesterday with one of the Karma Yogi. So he was a follower of Swami Dayananda Saraswati. With your permission, can I share that encounter?
Yes, Prabhuji. Yes, Prabhuji.
Unwillingly, it encountered into. He went into a debate mode. Like he was earlier, he was mentioning that he was a follower of ISKCON and Radharani, and then probably due to some circumstances, I don't know what were them. So he he got into this karma yogi system and not an atheist, I would say, but he was atheist only. But no, he's not anymore follower of Krishna, purely Krishna. So he's altogether a different belief system. I did not get into what exact belief system it was. And then it went into a small debate mode. So he had a few questions which I answered, and then I had a few questions to him as well. But little I got disturbed yesterday. And soon what I did was I just connected with one of the devotees. So he helped me out, getting back my consciousness again. So I was in a disturbed mode little to some extent. And there comes actually the power of association as well as
Yes.
the books as well. So when one is disturbed, so better someone can connect immediately with the devotees, the fellow devotees. So they have that power. We don't know like what kind of solace they would provide to us, but definitely it is going to help us. Maybe if not 100%, it is going to heal. Like it is good. It is going to heal for sure. And the books, anyway, I mean, they are the biggest, benefit factors. So keep on reading the scriptures. So that will keep your faith system more and more stronger. So, sorry, Prabhu.
No, it's this encourages Prabhuji. See, all of us consciously, subconsciously are going to be affected. That is what Maya is going to be doing. She is going to try to keep us engaged, try to prevent us from going back to Krishna. Because if everyone goes back to Krishna, then who is going to be left with Maya? Her existence itself is going to be in question. Right?
Even I felt like yesterday it was my examination day with Maya.
Yes. So we have to be very, very. See, these trigunas are something which are going to keep us entangled. But we have a solution, as you said, and that solution is ABCD. Association, books, chanting, and diet. So the moment we are into ABCD sincerely, then nothing is going to be keeping us disturbed. But yes, in the initial stages, we are neophytes. We are Kanishta Adhikaris, as it's mentioned in the Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhus. So slowly we'll become Madhyam Adhikari, and then maybe we'll become someday Uttam Adhikari, and we'll have that pure goodness one day coming. But for that, we have to be very, very sincere in following what is being told by the Guru, the Shastras. The moment we follow our Guru and Shastras and their instructions, then we have to be confident that yes, they have promised us and we will be doing it successfully. So just follow the Shastra and try to change your these material eyes to the Shastra Chakshu. That was what we heard, if I'm not wrong, in the month of February in one of the lectures, where Prabhupada ji said, you need to have Shastra Chakshu. So the moment we go into Shastra Chakshu mode, then automatically we get that inner strength that yes, we are going to be. And today's lecture, if you see, we have now got so many scriptural evidences that Hari's name is going to be something which is going to be cleansing us of all our sinful activities, which we may have done, which we may be doing inadvertently. And it's Hari's name only which is going to help us prevent from doing any more sinful activities. So we saw from Smriti Shastra, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur has given us so many quotations. So this, just remembering this, in fact, I'll just share my personal experience. Being a doctor, I used to be getting disturbed most of the time. But then when I had read this very first time in my third year, I remember, from that day onwards, I have made it a point that I keep on reading this purport at least once a month. It gives that confidence. Chanting, this is the benefit. Chanting, this is the benefit. So it improves your chanting. And another thing which I started after the COVID pandemic was, I started chanting with Prabhupada's recorded chanting.
Which purport
So then,
it is, Prabhuji? That for
yes,
chanting? Which purport you're talking about? Which purport
yes,
it is?
this purport, this particular shloka. Because here, if you see, in this purport, Prabhupada has given these quotations from the Shastras, Smriti Shastras. 3 locations where it is mentioned what is the importance of Hari's name. So I'll share, you can go through this purport, and I'll ask someone to share this in group also, what I shared on the PPT. Or if possible, I'll share this PPT as well, 1-to-1, if anyone of you wants it. It's very, very strong and faithful.
Sure, Prabhu, you can share it in the group. So
yes, Prabhuji, I'll definitely try to share this PPT, because it's very strong. You see, it gives you that confidence. Yes, it is mentioned in the Shastras. Hari's name is going to be helpful. Not 1, not 2. He has quoted from 3 locations. So we just have to be confident. Yes, Hari's name, Hari's name, Hari's name. And we are going to be successful. So with this confidence built in, we'll definitely go back to Godhead. So I request all of you to keep on attending these sessions every day, in the morning, in the evening, and whenever you get time, even when you are working, just keep on listening whatever you can, old lectures. So that will keep on increasing the confidence. Hare Krishna. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyeva patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Granthra Srimad Bhagwatam ki jai.